Hey guys, we're back.
Did you miss us?
Hello?
Are you coming to this party tonight?
No, we're filming a podcast. Hey guys, welcome back to Two Girls, One Gay. We are back to business. If you guys are watching visually, we're in little suit and ties and our preppy little look.
Because we're back to business.
Because we're back to business, babe.
I didn't get the tie memo. Actually, I did. I just didn't want to wear one. I'm wearing a sweater vest. Goodwill, $5.
Giving
Nice.
Catholic schoolgirl.
Well, weren't you a Catholic schoolgirl?
Yeah.
Yeah. Amen.
That's why
On brand.
That's why you're a
Amen.
freak.
So it's been like, two months since we've recorded
Mhm.
and released.
It's been a long time. We have a lot to catch up on.
There's been a lot that has happened, and we're so excited to inform you guys. Who wants to go first?
Oh,
Oh, Amia? You had the
Yeah.
craziest trip.
okay. I'll start because I feel like Shy's leads into our
Yes.
topic. So
Yep.
let me give you guys the little spiel. So for me, had a great December. I missed Shy and Logan because we were all gone for so long. But I ended up going to Japan. That was crazy. Cultural shock. It was insane. There's just I can't like explain, otherwise I'm gonna like use the whole episode to talk about my trip. But it was an amazing experience. I feel like a lot of people like to travel, but like Japan was just like one of the most insane places I've ever been to in my life. So if you ever get the chance, I just feel like it's a must do. I would say it's like top 3. And I feel like I've been to a handful of places. So
Yeah.
but I don't want to get too in the. into
She
that.
brought us back little sushi babies.
Oh my God, it was so cute. We came home from New York
Yeah.
at the same, like a couple of days afterwards,
Mhm.
after she got back from Japan, and she had little setups for both of
Candies
us. It was so
and
cute.
like little presents for us. It was so sweet.
Yeah.
I love my little sushi baby. It's on my
I
cart.
also, Japanese candy is the best candy.
Yeah,
It's
really
It's
good.
so much better than American candy.
Also, what
And
are
not
they,
as
the
processed.
Sunny
Exactly.
Sunny Angels.
Mm-hmm.
I bought 4 Sunny Angels, and they were $7 each in Japan because they're from Japan. But you know how like they're like a whole thing on TikTok now.
Yeah.
I don't know
They're
what you're talking about.
28,
They're babies.
30. They're $30 for a Sunny Angel. It's $30 if I want to buy one off Amazon or just like buy one off eBay.
Mhm.
In Japan, they're $7, so I bought 4 of them, and then I packed them to give to everyone. Got back, couldn't find them in my suitcase. I realized I threw them away. I know.
That's the one thing I'd asked for. I was like, okay, I
Yeah,
want
you
a Sunny
did.
Angel baby when you come back.
Wait, so they're not the little keychain things?
They're not the keychain things. They're like those little naked babies with little hats.
Oh,
They
like
just
the
kinda
ones
sit there.
that
Yeah, they're
people
like
put on their phones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
No.
no. You
No.
can like you just stand them in your room.
Yeah.
Or you put them in
Oh.
your car.
It's a baby.
It's just like a little trinket.
Like the ones
a
I
little
leave around the
knick-knack.
house?
Sure.
Okay.
Oh my God, that's a thing about Logan is he has a package full of little naked babies that are half bald.
Whoa, they're little baby, like... they're little, I have to bring them
They're
in.
naked babies.
When you say they're little naked babies, it makes it sound so
I mean,
bad.
it's not a real baby, so it doesn't sound weird, but
It's a little trinket.
it's a
It's a
little
little trinket.
trinket that's a naked baby, and he leaves them all over the house.
I just leave them in random places so that when Shy finds them, it
It
either
me.
angers her or like sparks a little bit of joy.
It's
I love
anger. I'm just feeling anger.
I think they're
They're
so
like
cute.
they're little Easter eggs.
I think they're so cute.
I see it and I like want to pun it. Like,
Oh my god.
anyways.
Okay.
Okay, well anyways, what did I'm going next.
Yes, as you should.
What's new with me? I went home for the holidays for about 2 weeks. That was great. Got to catch up with family. And then it was nice to come home. And then when Amia was in Japan, Shy was like randomly, should we just go to New York for 10 days? And I am never going to say no to a trip to New York. So we did that. That was such an amazing trip.
Yeah, really fun.
We stayed in like a very central location, a really cool area of New York that I'd never stayed in before. And I think we both had a really good time together and separately.
You had more of a good time separately than I did.
No.
Logan went on like 3-4 dates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some were more successful than others. Well, one of them was like with a guy that I like used to date. So that was like just nice to catch up with him. And then I only went on like another day. I didn't go on 2 or 3 or 3 or 4.
You went on 2 with your ex.
Yeah, 2 with
and then
the ex,
a different
and then
guy.
another one with another dude.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Would you say dating for you is more successful in New York than LA?
I feel like I'd have to live there to know. I think that I vibe better with people in New York, but also I don't know if that's actually true or if I'm just out of town. And I'm like,
You're just having a good time.
I'm more go with the flow there because I'm only going to be there for a specific set amount of time.
Yeah.
And in LA, I'm just like, I don't know.
You think you put more pressure on it because
I put
like,
more
you
pressure
live
on it because
here?
I'm like something maybe could happen.
It could happen and we're in the same location.
But also something could happen with somebody that lives in New York. I guess it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Just if you vibe with that person.
East Coast, West Coast love.
I do. I think I like the East Coast way more though.
Wow.
Yeah.
Don't leave.
I would agree.
Yeah.
No, you can't.
I'm not. Did I say yeah? I'm not gonna leave.
You're not going anywhere.
I'm not. For now.
But you're like, Logan's is very, which we've talked about on previous episodes in season 1. You're very comfortable with dating. Like, you like, even no matter where we are, what location we are, like, if you have an opportunity to go on a date with someone, you usually take it. Which I'm the like complete opposite.
Yeah, I think, well, that's why it was fun, I think, for me and Shy to both go, because in that way we are extremely different.
Yeah.
You went on Shy went on the most successful date, I think.
And
for her.
And the most unsuccessful.
And like successful and unsuccessful at the same time. And I just went on a date with my ex, which honestly is probably not the best idea. So,
but honestly, the only reason, okay, so I'll
get into
it. Fuck. Okay, so my Christmas is great. Went home, saw my family. Blah blah blah. Like whatever. You guys don't care.
Oh, I care.
We care.
No. Oh, the puppy that we had talked about all season 1. She's with my mom now. So if you guys are following along for that story, my mom's taking care of her, and she's gotten really big. She's a full-grown German Shepherd now,
and she lives on a ranch.
Lives on a ranch in the middle of Oklahoma, and she's living her life. And I gave my parents my Jeep that I had bought like a couple years ago. I gave that to my dad, and he loved that. So very successful Christmas for my family. And then came back to LA for a couple weeks. Was like, since Amia was going to be gone for a while, I didn't want to kind of be sitting in LA, and we weren't going to be filming the podcast till she got back. So I was to Logan. I was like, New York sounds fun. So we went to New York.
Okay.
So we went to New York. The thing with going with Logan that really helped me is because if I had gone with anyone else or just anyone else but Logan, I would have not gone on 2 dates because that's very unlike me. I don't even date when I'm living in LA and like someone's asked, even if it's like the other day I had an old friend who I have known for forever like asked to catch up and get dinner, and it gave me so much anxiety. I just did not do that. So I'm not much of a dater. But anyways, going with Logan and he was going on his dates, I was like, well, I don't want to just sit in the Airbnb, so I might as well. So 2 very different dates, and one was the most awful, gut-wrenching experience I've ever had talking to a straight man, and the other one was beautiful and euphoric. So let's start with the bad one. So
should we name him by name?
I would love to name him by name, but he doesn't.
Let's call him The Ground.
Let's call him Blue.
He doesn't really deserve that much airtime, so I'm going to keep it short and sweet. So I had followed him on TikTok for a while, and I don't know why, but randomly one day I followed him on Instagram, and then he had DM'd me, and we were just DMing on Instagram and kind of texting, but he had already so we started texting around Christmas time. When I got back to LA, we were texting, kind of calling, he had already been so rude to me, like over the phone and like texting and stuff like that. I was like, obviously, like, this guy sucks. But he happened to live in New York when we went. And so I was like, I might as well see him because maybe I'm just, I don't handle social cues very well. So maybe it's like I'm not understanding how he's trying to come across. So met him in person. We went to get dinner at this place called Thai Diner in New York. And I had walked there. And so as you do in New York, which is normal, which that point will make sense in a second. But I walked there. We have dinner. Dinner was fine. Then we decided to walk to this corner bar because he wanted to watch a football game, which is totally fine. I like football. So we walked to this bar called Ray's. And it was kind of like an interesting vibe in there. And he kept trying to be very like touchy and lovey. And I wasn't like, I'm not a big PDA person to like begin with. Mm-hmm. So that was already awkward. And he was just not it. He was very cringe and to me and just very like weird in person. And then he started to bring up really personal stuff that he'd found out online about me. And I was like, I really don't want to talk about this. And this is my first time like meeting you in person. He kept pushing me to talk about it, which was just so uncomfortable.
He was basically having a conversation with her that he should have waited for like a few more dates to have.
Like he should have waited a long time for us to have that conversation. So I was just like, I can't disclose exactly what it was, but it was uncomfortable as fuck. I was uncomfortable the entire night. Anyways, date ends and like I can tell he's not having the best time. I'm obviously not having the best time. So I thought we were going to go our separate ways at the bar. No, because I said, oh, like I wasn't staying that far away. So I was like, I'm going to walk back. And he's like, no, take an Uber. And I'm like, no, I want to put my headphones in and I want to walk. Like I'm in New York. I want to do that. And I didn't feel unsafe whatsoever. And he would not have it. I thought he was going to get in an Uber or like take the subway or whatever. Just like get the fuck away from me. But he didn't. He followed me on back to my place. And the whole time that we were walking back to our Airbnb, he was calling me stupid and naive the entire walk back, the 20-minute walk back over and over. He was like, you're so stupid. You're so naive. You don't understand what it's like to live in New York. What man has the right to call anybody stupid and naive about like a situation so simple as to walking? And like, I understand like he was being like, he thought it would be unsafe for me, but like, first of all, I can handle myself. And also I walk there. And also everybody walks in New York. Like it's pretty fucking normal for me to want to walk 20 minutes. God,
also like if he felt concerned, he should have just communicated that to you rather than calling you stupid.
There were so many better ways to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like really, really bad. Anyways, we get back to the Airbnb.
He literally could have just been like, let me walk you home. Or like, let me get you an Uber.
Truly.
Yeah. That would have been nice.
Truly. Yeah.
That would have been way nice. I just don't. The way he communicates and the way I communicate, just no, it's just would not ever work out. But not that I'd want it to. I hated everything about him. I hated the way he talked. I hated his style. I hated like everything about him. Anyways, so get back to the Airbnb and he has to pee. Great. So he comes up to the Airbnb, meets Logan. Logan, I can tell by the look on Logan's face, Logan hates him. And he wouldn't leave. I was like, I had schoolwork due, and I was trying to get my schoolwork done, and he was just sitting like, hey, do you have a phone charger? Like, whatever. Anyways, finally get him out of the Airbnb after a number of other uncomfortable things. And that was the worst date I have ever been on. And he's also one of the worst people I've ever met. And he's really famous on social media, like on TikTok, and it pisses me off that someone like that has a platform because he does not deserve it. And he gives dating advice on his platform.
That's the crazy part.
Gives fucking dating advice on TikTok. Get fucked. What is wrong with you?
Okay, next one.
Okay, so let me get a drink because I'm talking a lot. Little ASMR.
I wish I could have seen your face.
I know.
I could just tell Logan was so pissed off. And Logan also wanted to like go to bed and stuff too, which I understand.
And I was sleeping in the loft area, so it was like fully open.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
I see.
Anyways, so after that, so a couple days after we had that awful date, I'm sitting at a cafe and I'm working and he calls me and I'm like, fuck. So I answer and he apologizes for the entire night and realized that he shouldn't have said the stuff that he said to me and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I want to make it up to you. Would you go to dinner with me Saturday? And I said, if you give me a time and a place, I'll think about it. He never gave me a time or place. He just calls me at midnight on Saturday, and I'm already out with Logan and a bunch of our other friends at New York, and I decline the call, obviously. I unfollow him on TikTok. I unfollow him on Instagram. And I was like, I'm so fucking done with this dude. Like, how fucking disrespectful are you? And it was like, whatever. It was whatever. Anyways, so that guy, hate him. He's done with. So after that, I was like, I hate men. I'm so fucking done with dating. Like, I tried. I went on a date. I hadn't been on a date in 9 months. I tried. I was like, I'm going to go on a date. Awful. So I was like, fuck everybody. So me and our friends in New York, Logan was on a date, so I went out with our girlfriends there. And my one friend, she's on Hinge on her profile, and she knows I like guys that are tall. And she comes across this guy that's...
That's a requirement.
That's a requirement.
Just be above 6 foot.
Yeah. So she came across this guy that was 6'7". He doesn't have social media, but so he would never see this. But he was 6'7". He goes like went to
6'7" is crazy.
6'7" is crazy. But he went to
And
Yale.
he actually was 6'7".
And he was.
How can I what can I compare that to in this room?
Are we like the middle of that
Like
light?
yeah, the middle of that light right there.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Were you just like
Oh, we didn't kiss. Oh, no.
All right, let's get back to...
Okay, so we're me and my girlfriends are out at the bar, and she comes across a guy. He's 6'7", so 6'7". He went to Yale. He was really cute. Was very much my type. So I message him through her Hinge, and he doesn't have social media. Well, he has Instagram, but it's like deactivated or whatever. So he just like looks up my profile because I gave him my Instagram. I was like, Instagram and my number, and off of Hinge, off of this other person's Hinge, and he looks at my Instagram, and so we start texting. He's really smart. He's really funny through text, and I'm like, okay, this is like good. He's like, we planned. This was like a Wednesday or a Thursday that we had started texting, and we'd planned to get drinks on Sunday. Sunday comes around, I almost don't go. Like, I'm just like, I have so much anxiety. I don't want to go. Like, I would rather, and we were leaving on Tuesday. So I was like, I'd rather just hang out with Logan and our friends and just like have like one last weekend day and blah, blah, blah. Logan convinces me to go on the date. He was like, this will be good for you. There's like a lot of people out there. You should try. And so I was like, okay, I'll go on the date. But
she can't live in her I hate man fantasy forever. Yeah. She has to like, she needed a good interaction.
Yeah.
So, but I was like, I don't really want to be in a bar alone with a guy that I don't know. So I made Logan and our other friends like show up to the bar like after we'd got there and like sit at a different area, and it brought me so much comfort to just like see them walk in.
It was actually so funny.
It was so cute.
That's so funny.
But anyway, so I meet him. He's 6'7", and immediately he was smart, funny, such a gentleman. He was very kind. I was wearing this cute corset that like showed off my boobs. He didn't look at my boobs once. We didn't kiss goodnight or anything like that, which is totally, totally fine. Like, I will never see him again, and that's...
Never mind.
What?
To be continued.
I hate that she says that.
But also...
You never know. Well, now, yeah, we know.
But also, I don't want to because
yeah.
I'm interested in...
Yeah, I know.
Whatever. You know, I have other...
I have other interests.
I have another interest that I am just solely focusing on. But we didn't kiss goodnight or anything. He was just the perfect gentleman. He was so funny and like paid for my drinks, which in the past I'd had problems with me paying for everything, blah, blah, blah. So even just that was like super nice. And so that was a really, really good date. Like the entire time I was laughing, I was having so much fun. So I had very two different experiences in New York, and I'm very grateful for both of them. I will never see either one of those people ever again, which is totally fine.
Kind of crazy how like you can go from
one end of the spectrum to the other. Like it was nuts.
It like balanced it out for you. It's like you don't love men, but you also don't hate them anymore. It's like, oh.
Well, even now,
neutralized it.
Even that was like several weeks ago, and even now I don't. I was in my hating men era for a second, but no, I believe there's good guys. I've always believed that there's good guys out there. None of them have showed up for me.
Hey, your dad, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, my father. My father's amazing. But the second guy, he was just like, he was very much a gentleman, and it did restore my faith in dating. I was like, oh, okay, maybe this is what Logan feels like when he goes on a good date. That's why he keeps going on them.
I mean, yeah.
Because it was, I did feel like in a state of like, euphoria. Like after that, I was like, wow, like a gentleman, a good man, finally, after all of this like
I think
suckiness.
I think I go on dates in order to, because I am searching for that same feeling.
Yeah.
But I've only been on a handful of dates that are actually like that.
Yeah.
I like to think that when I am on a date, like I would give somebody that kind of feeling, but I mean, you never know. Like if the vibes aren't there, they're not
Yeah.
there. So, but there's only like a handful of dates that I've been on that have been that way, and I ended up dating them. So
Yeah.
you never know. I think other dude just might be like that too, so that's good for you.
Okay.
Anyways.
Anyways, so that brings us to our main topic that we want to talk about today, which is the subject of modern dating.
I wonder when like the first quarter is that how you
The what?
the first person who's trying to court someone, like what came to them? You know what I mean? Like were they like
So like the thing with I think courting is that so the whole arranged marriage type of thing was that like a man had to used to like show proof that he could provide for a woman. Like he either can like provide like a stable home for like the woman and like the kids that they would have. Like he would have to bring the father like actual paperwork proof, cows that I have cows, I can have milk, chickens, like we can have food, like blah, 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 and like also give them to the father. So I feel like that was like the initiation of courting
yeah,
is like bringing
showing status.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And bringing proof that you can provide
And that's something
for a
that
woman.
is still to this day a thing. I feel like women probably look for those things still.
Yeah.
And some people chalk it up to like, oh, she's a gold digger. But it's like, no, this is in our nature.
I think the need and want to be provided for is in everybody.
Okay, yes. So we kind of broke down what we think or certain topics that we think are important to discuss about modern dating and why it's so horrible these days. Starting with our first topic. What were you just saying?
The first topic would be the problem with modern dating is the illusion that you have so many options because of social media and dating apps. Is like I was watching this guy, he has a podcast about it, but he was explaining it in a shorter version on TikTok, and he was like, you will meet this person that you deem to be like very suitable for you, perfect, like everything is right, but in some guys, it's mainly guys, women usually don't think this way, in some guys' mind, like in the back of their head, it's like, she's perfect, but because I see everything else on social media as well, I believe I could find someone more perfect.
Yeah.
So they'll give up that person, and usually they end up regretting it. They'll give up that person that they had deemed to be like very much suitable for them, like probably was their soulmate or the love of their life, because they think that they can find better.
Yeah. And I think even to what you were just saying, it's not even just in the mind. I think it's also because of, apps, for example, right? Being able to just swipe through something like it's a fucking menu,
Yeah.
right? Selecting, oh, this person is a brunette. I don't really like brunettes. Oh, this person has blue-brown eyes. Now, that's like very surface level, but like other things too, where it's like maybe you see their outfit and you're like, oh, we're not really like similar in style, or oh, this person doesn't enjoy the same authors as me. I don't know, whatever they're putting on their profile. You're literally selecting people like their menu items, and that is insane.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be able to do that.
I think that has fully altered our brain chemistry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. Like, of course, I have a lot of friends even who have found
love off
through
of
it.
dating.
Yeah, and are very successful, maybe engaged or planning to move in, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I would say the cons and the downside to those things is that a lot of people abuse it. And I think it's kind of what you were just talking about, where it's like, oh, well, I saw someone really cute on here last week. Why would I go for this other person?
Yeah.
A lot of it does have to do with looks, I hate to say, but it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think honestly Grindr fucked me up in that.
Tell us about it.
No, it's like you were saying, it's like menu items, and you're literally just swiping through, and there's lots of different types of people on there. Sometimes it's fun, and then sometimes it's way too overwhelming.
Yeah.
And most of the, like, I've had great conversations with people just off of Grindr, like not even like hookup wise, just like meeting people, which is great. But then also I've had like the shittiest encounters just over like messaging with people. They're just so rude, and it's so abrupt, and like it's not even like a conversation. It's just like a hey, like, and then you're getting like a dick pic and like shit like that.
Yeah.
And then like, I think within the past 2 months, I had Grindr that whole time, and I've never had Grindr on my phone for that long of a period of time. I usually get it for like a week and then I'm over it. But I was just in like a phase, I guess, where I was just like, fuck it, like whatever. So I had it for like 2 months, and I just deleted it last week, and I already can feel like I think my mental health is a little bit better.
Wow.
I took a peek at his Grindr one time. That is the most craziest shit I've ever seen.
It is. Really,
I was
oh my God.
scared. I was like,
so,
you look at that and like,
it is really fucked up, like when you look at it. But I will say, me and one of my really good friends, Jordy, I would literally give her my Grindr. She would just go through and message dudes like the craziest shit, and I have the funniest screenshots. And that was it's one of the most fun things to do.
they probably think you're some sort of freak.
No, she literally would say the craziest, most outlandish shit. And it was so funny. The dudes would either respond and be like really into it, or they'd be like, what the fuck did you just say?
Oh my God. I'm very
Anyways.
curious now.
We should do that as a social experiment on here one time.
I'm down.
Anyways.
But I do feel like it's very, I mean, I feel like a lot of people talk about it. It's interview style, right? Like,
Yeah.
what am I interviewing for? Even like questions, for me personally, if I was like dating again, if someone's like, oh, where do you see yourself in 5 years? I don't fucking know. Like,
Yeah.
maybe we should see if we like each other. Like, why are you asking me where I see myself in 5 years? And also, okay, I do get it too that people, you know, have wants and needs for the future. Like, maybe they want a family.
Want a
and,
family
like, you
in
have
5
to be,
years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to be on the same page as that. But, like, also, I don't know. People change their minds. I wasn't someone that I thought I wanted kids. But, like, now as I'm getting older, I'm thinking to myself, hey, maybe someday I do want kids. It's like, you don't know. And also, maybe if you meet the right person, that will change your mind too. So it's like, why ask those questions right now?
Yeah.
True.
Just like feel out the vibe. And I think that's you talking about it being an interview. I think that's one of the things that gives me so much anxiety about dating, because not that I am not good at having a first interview. Like, I can do it in a professional like setting, but I like meeting friends and like networking. I'm not a first impression type of girl. Like, I might come off different than how I actually am the first time you meet me, just because like I am very closed off. I am very shy. I don't understand social cues like all that well. So meeting me the first time, I'm obviously not going to be my full like authentic self, just because like it gives me so much anxiety to do that. And I feel like really weird doing that. So I feel like since first dates are so like strong, like first impression, like making a good first impression, that's like one of the reasons why I kind of steer away from it. And I've said this since I've been single the past like year and a half, is like I would rather meet someone in a very casual way and then we decide like, oh, this could work. I've been saying that for a while, and I think that would be the best way for me to meet someone and to date someone.
Well, I also think that meeting somebody off of an app adds pressure to the situation as well.
Yeah.
Like, it's just feels like, oh, well, we've been talking for however long on the app. Now I feel like there's some sort of like build up that I want to, you know, keep going, or you've had conversations about specific things that you then are like going to dinner and you're like, okay, well, like you have it built up in your head, like what could already happen, an outcome.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of just disappointing.
No, it's
you don't get the vibe of the person until you're actually in person with them.
Yeah.
And it is a lot of pressure too, because you're on the dating app. Why? Because you want to find love, you know?
Yeah.
But it's like when you meet someone at an outside setting,
Yeah.
for example, or not love.
I was like, I don't know if many people on there actually want to find love.
I'm just saying, if you are looking for love, right, and you're going to a dating app for that thing, there is pressure if you're trying to talk to people, and then maybe you're going on a first date. Whereas, like, if you meet someone, which we're going to get into this next, the third place, which is like, you know, a common area where you can meet someone like at a park or in like a just community event,
like a more
right?
organic type of meet.
Exactly. There's not as much pressure because love isn't on your mind. You're just like meeting this person in like a nice casual event space.
Right.
And that's the
But
thing.
you're also sorry. I was just gonna say, but you're also seeing them and vibing with them in person
Yeah.
immediately.
Yeah.
And you can tell, I think, personally, if you like somebody, it's, for me at least, it's always been like, I can tell I like that person. Just based off of vibe.
Yeah.
And our interaction.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. Also, the thing with social media, and like, I hate to say it because I am one of those girls who I post my body on social media, which I personally like am a fan for, and I like if a girl wants to do that, I think she should do that.
Mhm.
But I think a lot of men are so like desensitized to it now that when they do meet a girl, they're not as intrigued to like have that build up and that tension and like all that, because like yes, I post my body online, but like also my online persona is very different than who I am in person, and I think people are shocked when they meet me in person. They're like, "Oh, I thought you'd like I had a modeling agency like way back when, and I was like in my early stages of like growing my platform, and I had like TikTok clout and like this, that, and the other, and I was posting my body and stuff. And when he met me in person, he told me, he was like, "You are a very sweet, like humble, like person compared to your social media." He was like, "I would have thought you would have been the most outgoing, outlandish, like ratchet person just because of your like social media." And I was like, "Oh shit." Like really? But I feel like
It's just the stereotyping.
and it's totally like I think personally for me, I'm gonna find the person who like will still like do the whole chivalry courtship, even though I do post a lot about myself, because for me that's not the most intimate thing like to know about me. My body's not the most intimate thing, but that's also because I do post my body on social media. However, I do think there is a conversation to be had that like, because we do that so much now, a lot of men are desensitized to like sex and seeing someone like naked. Like it's no longer like a mystery.
I think also, hot take, I think women are just more evolved than men
That's
in a way.
I don't think that's
So
a hot take.
I don't think that's
I
true.
mean,
Yeah.
People say that.
No, it's not really not a hot take. It's
Yeah.
just the truth. But I think a lot of men to this day still have, not even outwardly necessarily, or maybe subconsciously, they just have still the same idea of like how they had like the point of mating back in the day was just to procreate and like
Yeah.
shit like that. It wasn't necessarily
Yeah.
for romance. It wasn't to find love. I think, I'm not saying all men because I know like that's not true. I know a lot of men are romantic and want love and are amazing, but I think that women just have a better sense of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Like
I agree.
more women than men.
Yeah. Well, yeah, not all men. I
Speaking.
think people should look. Oh,
What?
No, keep going, babe. I
I just
just
say people should look up to Vincent Van Gogh. He was fucking down to cut his fucking.
Wait, what?
He was cutting his ear off for
Van
women. That should be the new. No, I'm dead ass.
Vincent.
What
Van
is the
Gogh.
craziest thing you would let a man do for you?
Cut it.
Cut his
A
ear
man
off?
cut his ear off for me.
But like, what was his reasoning for cutting his ear off?
He loved her.
Yeah.
So he just cut his ear off?
Yeah, he was like, "This is a part of me." Like he had like so much love for her that he wanted to give.
Why not just put like some blood in a vial and give her a necklace or something?
He wanted to give her
Like,
the
make-
I
whole
don't-
ear.
MBK.
I think that's
No, that's how romantic it was. It was like my whole ear.
I don't want to hear any other bitch talk to me. Nobody else can talk to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's romantic as hell.
No, that's what I'm saying.
That is
What men used to go to
crazy.
war, men used to cut their ears off for
Men
women.
used to go to war
What
and write
happened?
love letters. Speaking of, let's fucking talk about how chivalry is fucking dead. And
Yeah.
I'm sick of it.
Oh my god.
I want to be courted so bad. I want love letters.
I
I
think-
want dates. I don't want fucking hookup culture. This shit sucks.
I don't think it's dead, but chivalry is no longer the norm.
Yeah.
I think it used to be
Yeah.
the norm.
Yeah.
It did used to be the norm. It's like men feel like you have to earn it, but you should be holding the door for every woman. You should
Mhm.
be, I don't know.
I think more men should have been
I think
raised in the
coattail-
South.
Huh?
More men should have just been raised in the South because
You're
I
right.
opened the door for everyone.
That's one thing I noticed about Logan when we were in New York. Is like everywhere we'd go, he'd open the door for me, and I was like, "This is so," because I don't.
But it's
Yeah,
just
that's
like
like-
a
that's so
common
sweet.
courtesy thing to do, especially
Yeah.
if like from a man to a woman.
Yeah.
Do you remember those cartoons of like a, I don't even know which one I'm specifically talking about, but like a man would take his jacket off and throw it on the puddle and the girl would walk over it?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
No
see
man
that-
would ever do that for me.
I see that
Ow.
on. That was a trend on TikTok.
Huh?
That was a trend on TikTok where like girls would film their boyfriends picking them up and like carrying them across like puddles and stuff. I was like,
but how crazy is it that we've gotten to a point in society where we have to come up with trends to see if our boyfriend will follow them?
Like
wow.
The peeling
like the orange peel theory?
The peeling the orange.
Like, what the fuck is that?
Fucking stupid.
You're asking for the bare minimum. And that is
minimum.
So sad.
And also, I would never, if I asked, like, hey, can you pass me that orange? I would never think, like, oh my God, if he doesn't peel it for me, then he doesn't love me. I would not think that.
But also, it's not even that. Like, of course, if somebody asked for an orange or was like, oh, I'm really craving an orange right now, I'd be like, oh, here's a fucking full ass orange. Peel it yourself, bitch. But if you're like, oh my God, the thought of peeling it is just so annoying, I probably honestly would peel it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if someone mentioned.
But also, you shouldn't have to set them up like that.
Yeah.
It's just the whole concept of like, why do we need these trends to just prove that men are like not gonna do it?
Men can barely do the fucking bare fucking minimum. It's honestly ridiculous.
But also, I don't fucking know. I think it's just all stupid. Just find you.
I've been lucky. I feel like I make Al do everything for me.
I mean, that was my last relationship, as we had talked about.
And listen, like, you can just turn it into a habit. Like, it's just a bad habit, right? If a girl is like, hey, I want you to do this more, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. Because, some guys are like, oh, well, it's just so hard. It's so annoying. Or like, I don't know, maybe not.
Makes me want to throw up.
For example, it's just like the whole thing with Valentine's Day, right? Just like guys like making that excuse where they're like, oh, well, I didn't know you wanted to do that. Well, I'm telling you now.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I was going to. Or why is it that big of a deal? Like, we're already dating. It's like, because she wants you to, so just do it.
There's this guy on TikTok, and I wish I had his username on hand, but he talks about all the time about the relationships between men and women. And he made this TikTok, and it went crazy viral. But he said, and I do believe this is true, he was like, straight men might be attracted to women, but they don't necessarily like femininity. And I like agreed with that so much, just because he had also made the point of like, he interviewed this couple, and this is mainly being like stay-at-home wife, working man. Like, it's not a modern relationship anymore, so I'm gonna say an old-timey relationship. But it was like this guy. He was obviously he was working, and his wife was stay-at-home, and he had interviewed them, and the man was like, oh, like working woman or stay-at-home wife, and like he was like stay-at-home wife, and his wife bounces over, and he described her as like so beautiful, makeup done, hair done, their kids were all like put together. And the man he made the statement that masculinity should be earned and femininity should be protected. And that has stayed with me for so long, because a man wants to provide. Like, a man wants to feel like he's a protector, he's a provider, he wants to earn his woman. And I think that's still true even in modern relationships. Women still want to feel that. Or like the more feminine person in the relationship. I feel like that's still like a thing. Like there's always like a chase and catch type of situation. And I feel like femininity being protected is also like a really beautiful term, because he also stated, he was like, a lot of modern men nowadays is like, oh, what does she bring to the table? And he was like, boy, you get to be around her. That's what she brings to the table. You get to be in her presence. You get to hold the door open for her. You get to pay for dinner, and you get to be around her. And if you don't want to be around her, you should not be dating her. If her presence doesn't excite you and doesn't want you to like do these things, then you're dating either the wrong gender or the wrong woman. And he was like, if you want things, go date a man. And I just like loved every video he had made about that, because I thought that was like so true. And I'm more going to be like, I'm obviously always going to be working, and I believe in the working woman, and I'm all power to women and stuff like that. However, even for me, my man doesn't have to make more money than me or provide for me in that way. But I do feel like I should be taken care of in other ways.
Yeah.
Outside of that.
How does that tie into, because you said masculinity should be earned and femininity should be protected. But like also I feel like men need to just like tap into their inner feminine sometimes, and they're like scared to.
I think there's a difference between being comfortable in your sexuality and being masculine, because to me, masculine doesn't mean man, it means security and safety. And femininity means I want to say motherhood, but like nurture, like a
Mm.
caretaker.
Yeah.
Like that's what femininity means to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Okay. But I do think chivalry's dead, but maybe that's just because I haven't experienced it. And even with my past relationships, I haven't experienced love letters or.
Well, you experienced chivalry from the dude in New York.
Yes, that's true. Okay, yes, that's true. And I feel like I will experience chivalry in the future.
Yeah, but in the way that you
In the way
want
that
it.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've processed dating.
Mhm.
Shai also has become a huge fan of Pride and Prejudice since
Oh my god, it's literally the only thing she will
second
watch.
season. So I feel like there's a lot more that you expect now.
It's like all you
Yeah, I mean, I would say the bar. Not that the bar was never low for me. I had always wanted these things.
Mm-hmm.
But like there was a really strong period where I hadn't been sleeping with anybody and I hadn't been dating anybody.
Mhm.
I'm like, anybody can get it at this point. But that's obviously like then I went on that awful date and like obviously that is not true. But yeah, I like watching Pride and Prejudice and it wasn't like you don't even see if you've seen it then you like understand it's like all about like the art of intimacy and like at the you don't even see him kiss until the end and there's this like tension the entire like way through and he courts her and he does all these things for her family before he like even goes to her and I was like oh my god what a man and I love him and I watch that's my favorite movie also my favorite book I watch it like at least once a week. That's what I'm going to be doing on Valentine's Day. Tomorrow is drinking wine and watching Pride and Prejudice and crying myself to sleep.
I said I would watch it with you.
Yeah? Aren't you going on a date?
You just hushed me.
No.
I'm just kidding.
Aren't you? You're going to be
Wait,
busy.
yeah, I thought we were going on a date.
Are we going on a date?
Oh, wait. Yeah, I read about someone doing that. This guy and his girl best friend like went out on a date and they got dressed up and they went on a Valentine's date together.
I'll take you to dinner.
It's cute.
Stop.
Ugh, if you don't do that.
But yeah, I mean, you have a boyfriend. Like you're gonna.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna be.
You're gonna be
going
busy.
somewhere. I'm gonna be having fun. Sorry.
Ew.
I know who's
No,
really going to be
not-
having fun.
No, I got the. Huh? Oh,
Ew, Sally. Put the tongue
that one over
away.
there.
I'm terrified for them.
to chivalry being dead, I will say I do agree with you. I wish that it was more of like a regular
normal,
thing
yeah.
that people did
Yeah.
or was important.
Yeah.
How do you like? How do you feel in your relationship dynamics, Logan? Do you feel like you should be the one to pursue and do that stuff, or do you believe someone else should, or do you feel like it's an equal 50-50 thing?
I would like to think it's an equal 50-50 thing. That's how I would prefer it to be.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But also, I don't know. I always feel like I don't ever expect it from somebody, which I think that I want it from somebody, but I don't want to come off as if I expect it. So I just go ahead and end up doing that.
Mhm.
Like making the plans or like
Mm-hmm.
opening the door, like random, like stupid shit.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like,
That's not stupid.
but yeah.
Okay.
But I would
But-
like it to be 50-50.
But in the
Yeah.
future,
Ideally.
you want like an equal like give. and
Yeah, but I
receive
think
of that
that's
stuff?
also like me like choosing better.
Yeah.
And, like knowing what to look out for and like the red
Mhm.
flags, because like some people just aren't equipped or ready to bring that into a relationship,
Mhm.
and that's totally fine too.
Yeah.
But just need to pick better.
You and me both, babe.
But
No, I feel like
I think we both have good things coming.
aren't you supposed to be seeing someone in March?
Apparently,
Logan went back.
That's-
Logan went back to the psychic that we talk about a lot, and he's supposed to have like a little boo thing in March.
March honestly is giving me so much anxiety. There's apparently quite a few things that are happening in March, which I can't talk about all of them on here.
Oh my goodness. Wait.
when it
I was there
when it
for
comes
that,
to
though.
relationships, yeah,
Like, why am I forgetting?
it's like two big things.
We'll talk about it after.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. But one of the big things was like, oh yeah, I think you're gonna be in like a more serious relationship, which also was a little interesting because the first time I had a meeting with him, he was like, you're not gonna meet the person you're supposed to like spend the rest of your life with till you're 29.
Mm.
But you're supposed to be having encounters.
But and he mentioned then like you would have different encounters, so maybe this is one of my like more serious
serious encounters.
Interesting.
Which is hard to like know
Mm-hmm.
because then you're like, I'm literally just in it for the learning experience, which I'm fine with, and I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I don't want to fall in love with somebody again and then have my
But it'll be
heart
good for you.
broken and then
It'll be
like,
so good for you. I feel like
Yeah.
that'd be a beautiful thing for you.
no, I think you should fall in love with people as many times as you possibly can. Like,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think that's another thing, not talking about you, but like just reminded me that
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people also, maybe this has to do with chivalry, they don't want to feel. Like they just don't.
Totally.
Like it's so
they're
sad.
scared to feel.
They're scared. And like that's fine. Like it's a very painful thing, heartbreak and
Mhm.
love and all those things. But I feel like a lot of people kind of just put up a block
Mhm.
Yeah.
and they don't put themselves through even like being with someone for that reason, especially a lot of guys who will be like, oh, I'm emotionally unavailable. It's
Every
like, no,
guy.
you
Yeah.
just don't want to.
Well, it literally, and I know we've talked about this
Mhm.
ad nauseum on the podcast in season 1, but it's literally all based around their childhood and how they were raised
Yeah.
and like shit that they were dealt.
Yeah.
Which I think it's your responsibility as an adult. Like once you get to a certain age, just you got to figure it out and like
Mhm.
learn the tools in order to cope with those things
Mhm.
and like become emotionally available, learn how to feel your feelings.
Yeah.
Like learning about like attachment styles and shit like that helped me a lot.
Mhm.
And like I don't know, it's really not as hard as you would think to like feel your feelings and like focus on those things,
Yeah.
but it's really uncomfortable, which is why people don't do it.
It's so
Yeah.
uncomfortable. And I feel like a lot of men, like nowadays, I actually had this conversation recently, but they cut things off at the source because they're like,
Yeah.
they're scared that things are gonna be good and you might get hurt. And like, so what if
It's
like
because they're avoidant.
they're avoiding it, like they'd been hurt before. I'm like, why would you cut off something at the start when it could be either the absolute best thing or it could be the best learning experience.
That's
Yeah.
literally my
They're
last
scared.
relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They literally were just like, it was getting way too
Mm.
close and way too intimate, and they
Yeah.
couldn't handle it.
It's a part of growth.
Yeah.
But you've
But-
learned so much from that.
Oh my God, so much. And I'm like way like better off for it, you know?
Yeah. Also, I don't know, maybe I'm just like talking right now because like I'm in like a relationship, but I look back at like times where I was heartbroken and I'm like, why does that pain feel so good? Like the love pain where you're just like the yearning, like the I like want to be with this person so bad or I'm so sad. And like looking back at it now, I'm just like, that's so sweet. And she like got past that and
Yeah.
like good for her.
Because it's like an obstacle that I feel like we are willingly throwing ourselves into.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You go into a relationship and you know that it's either going to go one of two ways. You're
Mhm.
either going to stay together or you're going to have your heart broken.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And also, going into that, I think we're raised seeing all of these different types of things on like Disney and reality shows and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like we have kind of an idea of what it would feel like through other people's eyes.
Mhm.
And I think deep down, and it's kind of sick and like, what's the word? Like masochistic in a way. Like
Mhm.
we want that feeling.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
But when we get it and we're going through it, we're like, fuck, I don't want this. Like
yeah.
I want to fast forward like a few months so that I am not in this
Yeah.
pain anymore.
Yeah.
But now, like when you're
Yeah.
like 6 months past or like a
I
year
literally
past,
feel crazy when I'm heartbroken. Like, you know, when you can just like
and you're living in your
understand
own little.
songs better. Like, you're just like,
Yes.
oh my God, this literally makes so much sense. Where it's
It's
like
so
when you're
true.
singing along, when you're just like not really thinking of anything, when you're reading a book, you're watching a movie, you're like, oh my God, this person literally just captured how I felt.
You literally
You're
romanticize
so,
it.
you're so
Like I think you
Fucks you
romanticize like losing a relationship like heavily. I know I'm like when I'm sad or like I've lost someone that I've cared about, I'm so overly motivated. It's almost like a revenge thing for me.
Oh yeah,
Well,
she-
I'm like-
Guy makes
anything.
bops out of her heartbreak.
Also, yeah, I like write a bunch of music, which turns out great. I actually have a bunch of songs coming out about a guy who
it would have already been released.
it like yeah. By the time this podcast comes out, there will be
Yeah.
my first debut single. Shout out!
Oh.
That's so soon.
I know. It
That's
comes
me
out.
rolling the dice.
Wow, it's called Roll the Dice.
Wow.
Wow.
But the person I wrote Roll the Dice about, I have like he ended up like fucking me over kind of, and we didn't even date, and I was so pissed off. I wrote a million songs and all of like they're coming out very soon. I really love them.
Mhm.
They're really great. But also I just get into this revenge like mood where I'm gonna make you wish that you had stuck around, that you did me better, like something like I'm gonna work out harder. I'm gonna be. I always get hotter too. After every man fucks me over, I get so
I
much.
noticed that.
Right? I get so much better looking.
I would agree.
Wake
Not
up
for
in the
you, for
morning and I see
myself.
you, I'm like, who is that? Like,
Wait,
going to a secret model runway show right now?
I just get that's why I'm no longer scared of like heartbreak, is because I always get better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always
You
get
make
better.
art out of it too.
And I make a
what you
lot of
should
art
do.
out of it. Yeah.
And they never leave you for anybody better, just somebody easier.
Amen.
Oh. My God. Wow. Get his ass.
Get his
Hey,
ass.
If you wouldn't say it twice, don't say it at all.
We talked about that in New York. We were saying some crazy shit in New York, and
Oh my God.
me and Logan were both like, we wouldn't say it twice, don't say it at all. And we would say some
I
shit
would
twice.
say it twice.
Move along to fucking Valentine's Day, which is tomorrow.
Valentine's Day is honestly fucked up.
Valentine's
It's literally a cash grab.
No, it's literally the biggest marketing scheme that America has ever pulled off.
Yes.
First off.
They pulled it off fantastically.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I love it.
Created a whole fucking holiday just for people to spend money on chocolates and roses, which you should already be doing for your girlfriend or boyfriend or significant other. You should already be treating them. So first of all, if this is the first time that you are doing it and throughout your whole entire relationship, get it fucking together, because you guys are going to end up breaking up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's my rant on that.
Is Valentine's? It's mainly just an American thing, or is it
Is
all
it?
over?
I actually.
Yeah, it's international, but I think
But is it like the biggest? It's like the
I think it's
biggest
bigger
American-
here. I think it's bigger here, and I think like American
McDonald's
marketers
cups.
started it. I think.
The price. Sorry, it was stupid.
So, what's you guys' take on if you are already dating somebody? I already know Amia's, but if you're already dating somebody, should they have to ask you to be their Valentine?
Absolutely.
I disagree.
Absolutely.
I knew you guys would be opposite, so let's
Must.
talk about it.
No,
Listen,
I get your side.
Listen. I feel like I'm just a festive person in general. Like I love holidays. I love Christmas. I love, what else is a holiday? Halloween. I love 4th of July.
Thanksgiving.
But also, I just love dressing up and like my little stars and my booty cheeks and stuff. So it's just like, I feel like Valentine's Day is just another one of those days for me where it's like, oh yeah, like give me a reason to dress up, you know?
Mhm.
And I like to play into it.
I know the question was, if you're already with somebody,
Yeah.
do they need to?
So why do you
Basically-
don't think so?
I just don't. I love everything that goes along with Valentine's Day. I love the
Mhm.
flowers. I love the chocolate. I love the cards. I love the dinners.
Mm-hmm.
All that kind of stuff. That's cute. I
Mhm.
love that. I would love that.
Yeah.
I don't need my boyfriend to be like, will you be my Valentine?
Yeah.
I'm already just like, you're my fucking Valentine every day. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not gonna like,
Yeah.
I guess, I'll be excited for dinner. Like,
Yeah.
like I would like to have dinner plans and reservations, however long in advance, like they need to be made.
Yeah.
But I don't need him to be like, will you be my Valentine? You know, like,
I know,
He
that's
can-
the
he
first
can
time
just
someone
say-
said that to
he can
me.
just say like on the card, like, to my Valentine or fucking whatever. I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
But also, I
person's,
do
like,
want the
being
fucking
young,
chocolates because my
too.
fat ass wants the chocolates.
Chocolates? I'll get you
What?
chocolates.
Okay.
No, we're going on a date.
Yeah, this
I feel
is
like
my
since being
Valentine.
like young too, though, like, you know, when you pass out the candies or you like, will you be my Valentine written on like a little note
See,
paper?
those are
like,
the best
very-
memories of Valentine's
Yeah.
Day to me. I love the little candy grams. I love the sweet tarts, like in school.
Well, that's the thing
And-
too, is like people who don't get like those. I think one year everyone was getting these rose grams because I guess you can like your parents can like send one to you or you can send them to friends.
Oh,
And everyone
they're-
got them except for me, and I was
Yeah.
so sad. So maybe that's something that I'm trying to fulfill too, where I'm like, you have to ask me to be your Valentine because
I remember.
this one time in middle school I didn't get to, you know.
Yeah, I remember in high school, like the only people who would get those were the popular girls,
Yeah,
and it was like they would get like multiple of them,
they would.
and it would be like one from their boyfriend, and then it would be like 4 from like these random other freaks that just loved them.
Not freaks.
I'm just like, you guys are insane for this.
Yeah, I will
In
say.
the high school setting, grow up. Just,
Yeah.
I just think it's stupid.
I think also everything that we just talked about men not doing enough, that maybe women expect a little bit more because it is the one day that
they should.
regardless of like, you said capitalism, like it's a cash grab. Yeah, that's all true. But like it's surrounding you. You're seeing hearts everywhere because of that. Maybe it's like, oh, I know you saw those flowers. I know you see like you can grab them from anywhere. There's balloons everywhere.
Yeah.
Chocolate, like it's easy. Just why didn't you do it? Or again, if you're a girl's asking, is this something you can do for me? I will say that TikTok definitely has like everyone like
I'm fucking impressed. I've seen this shit everywhere. Also, I've just never, even when I was in a relationship, and I've been in long-term relationships.
Don't say it.
I've never had a guy ask me to be my Valentine or had a good Valentine's Day, like, ever. Actually, I had one boyfriend one time would break up with me every year before Valentine's.
No.
And then get back together?
I think it was like a couple weeks later.
That's
What
your
are you
dumbass's fault
talking
for that.
about?
No, I know, yeah.
What is this? I've never heard of this.
Yeah, that was the second guy I dated. Actually, the truck story that I...
Did he do it?
Why? Because he's a fucking
he's
loser.
broke.
It wasn't. It's not even. I don't
To
even
avoid having to.
It's probably to avoid having to pay for dinner. And gifts.
I don't even need stuff. Like that stuff doesn't impress me. It's just like I would want something sentimental for Valentine's Day. I like sure if a
Yeah.
guy wants to ask me to be his Valentine, I would think that's very sweet, but I don't need a whole shebang, like a whole dinner, like whatever. I would prefer if you're like trying to save money and we did like a candlelit, you made dinner at home.
Yeah.
That would mean more to me than us going to an expensive dinner somewhere else. I don't
Honestly,
all that stuff
same.
doesn't like impress me. Like I have money. I can take myself to dinner wherever the fuck I want. Like that doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
That would be the ideal Valentine's Day for me as well.
Yeah.
Just make dinner at home or fucking order food and just we'll watch a movie.
And if a guy gave me like a scrapbook, I want a scrapbook so bad. A scrapbook of our memories together. The way I would cherish and cry to that, like I would rather have that than any of the other fucking bullshit. But anyways, I've never had like
She will take a designer bag though too.
I mean, I won't turn it away, but don't
With the scrapbook.
don't the scrapbook in the designer bag. No, I don't need any of that. But yeah, but that's just because I've never had like a Valentine really, like so. And except for this year with me and Logan. But that makes me bitter. Like I'm bitter around this time of year just because I've always found it annoying. My mom finds it annoying too, even though my dad's like super romantic with it, like always. And my parents don't have money, so like he always like either if he can't afford a flower, he will go out to the field and pick flowers. Like
that's sweet.
So very cute. My dad's like very like into the holiday stuff. My mom's like, oh, like whatever. But
that just goes to show like it really doesn't take much.
It doesn't take much
in order for you to show that you thought about it.
Yeah. And I wouldn't ask for much either, but TikTok is making it worse. Like there's a sound on TikTok and it's this girl, she was like, for Valentine's Day, I think I'm gonna buy a gun. Yep. Oh, that's me.
Crazy.
Excuse me. Well, with that being said, we thought it'd be fun to compile a little collection of stories to make you feel better about Valentine's Day if you're lonely this year.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if you don't have a date planned, you get to hear all the horrifying date stories.
Yeah. So you won't feel sad anymore. This is actually the most. I'm so excited for this. I love this. Can I go first? Go first.
Yes.
Yay. I'm so excited for this.
Oh my God, that's a long ass story.
Relax.
Oh my God.
No, it's so good. It's so good. Okay, so if you think you're having a bad Valentine's Day, this guy had it worse.
Oh my God.
He said, I was living with my significant other, now ex. Let's call her bitch tits. At the time, he was living with her at the time, and we had been together for 3 years. And he's like, I'm going back to 2003 here. So obviously this was a long time ago. For Valentine's Day, I had booked us a trip to Barcelona for the weekend, so I had finished work early on Thursday afternoon to get home and pack her bags for her as it was a surprise. We were due to leave the very next morning early, so I was also preparing a nice meal for that evening and surprising her with tickets just after. I had also planned to propose to her while we were away, so I wanted everything to be absolutely perfect. I'd booked us a great hotel, a great restaurant, etc. I was nervous and excited at the same time.
See, these men exist.
Yes.
Very romantic.
Went to Asada on the way home to pick up the ingredients for that evening for the meal and a bottle of wine, or 3, he said in parentheses, oh, so cute, and hurried home to start cooking. I had just under 2 hours until she walked in and wanted it all done, table laid out and everything. He said, anyways, pulled into the driveway and her car was already parked in its usual parking spot, which was weird as she wasn't due home for another hour sorry, I just had a hair in my mouth. Hold on. Let me say that again. Anyways, pulled into the driveway and her car was parked up in its usual spot, which was weird because she wasn't due home for another hour and she worked 15 miles away. I unlocked the front door and gave a quick shout. The door wasn't normally locked when someone was home. No one shouted back, nothing. He said, I shouted again, nothing. He said, so I went to the kitchen and started prepping the meal. Got everything done in about 15 minutes and was cooking away nicely. I still had plenty of time, so I ran upstairs for a quick shower and to get changed into another shirt. Shower done, I made my way to our room and opened the door. Bitch Tits was bent over the end of our bed, looking straight at the door while getting pummeled up the ass by one of my close friends.
No.
After the shock passed, I calmly said, don't mind me. I'm just grabbing my stuff and I'll be out of your hair. He pulled himself out of her and pulled the cover over himself. And while they both watched in amazement as I pulled my suitcase from the top of my wardrobe and packed as many clothes as I could and then left. Oh, and I went to Barcelona on my own and had the best weekend of my life. And when I got back, I kicked his ass.
Don't mind me is wild.
Don't mind me. I'm just grabbing myself and I'll be out of your hair.
I want to go out with that dude.
This dude, I love him.
Sad.
I know.
That's
what
on
the
Valentine's
fuck?
Day?
That's a Valentine's Day story.
Woof.
Woof.
Do you want to go?
Okay.
It's so sad, but
I will
honestly,
go.
I'm glad that he went to Barcelona. I hope he deserves the best.
I hope now he's married.
I
If
hope
you're
he's
listening to this,
married
I
and
hope you're
happy.
married. To a loyal wife.
Okay. Wow, that's wild. Okay, I have mine on my phone.
Okay.
This one's kind of long, but also, like, I feel like it has to do more with, like, the whole, like, girls and expectations.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Here we go. Me, 22 female with my boyfriend, 23 male. 23 male. 2 years, disappointing Valentine's Day. So this is my first time asking for advice on Reddit. I would just like a third-party, unbiased opinion about my situation. I know Valentine's Day shouldn't be the only day you should show your love and appreciation for your partner, but this year I really wanted a pick-me-up, and I guess I expected too much, ? Just a background on my situation. I started working 2 jobs and finishing my last semester of college, so I've been extremely stressed. I'm basically living half in the dorms and half with my boyfriend. I do take care of him really well, but I kind of told him because I'm so busy, if he could help shoulder more tasks around the apartment, that'd be great. Asking him to do something will take forever, but he does get it done. I just can't rush him to do it my way or at my pace because I don't want him to be controlling. Usually when I get mad, I write out my thoughts and wait 24 hours before reacting to it because I believe I have anger issues and depression. I try really hard not to project it on my relationships, but every so often I mess up and I feel so guilty. So even after asking my boyfriend these past couple of weeks to help me, he's been extremely moody and a lot of pain because he needs dental work done. Okay. Anyways, I start buying small gifts before Valentine's Day, and I find a really good deal on a bed fan from Brookstone because I know he gets hot when he sleeps. He also asked me to buy him Hot Ones sauce for Valentine's Day since he's always watching their YouTube channel and wants to try it. He then asked me for a nose trimmer and other stuff, leaving hints when we were at the store. Because I love him so much, I basically bought him everything he wanted. So I know not to expect a lot from people because I've had a rough time being disappointed by a lot of people in my life, so I try to keep it humble. I asked him for a card to just write something nice for me and, I don't know, show appreciation for me, ? Anyways, I give him some of his gift early on Saturday because the main gift is the hot sauce. He loves his gift. And he hands me a box of chocolates. I'm thankful he picked my favorite. However, he just bought me a box for Christmas, and I got really sick of eating too much of them, so I was just going to save them till I could eat them again. But I told him I didn't want any chocolates. But I'm thinking, oh, Wednesday, he'll give me the card I asked for. Oh no. This is where I expected something, the very thing I tried to avoid. So I realized work wasn't going to let me off early. So I told him in advance, hey, I want to give you your gift Tuesday night. Well, the day comes and he's super happy about his gifts and just looks at me and is like, I'm sorry, I didn't get you a card. I felt so stupid. He kind of just said he had a headache and he couldn't go to the store to buy me a card, even though I really, really wanted one. I really took this hard and I felt like my heart was sinking. This feeling of disappointment was maybe me overreacting, but it really tore me down. I think the worst part was for Valentine's Day, he wanted to spend it with our group of friends. A lot of them are graduating soon and heading back home for the semester, so I was down to make good memories before they left. So Sunday, we went out to eat with everyone, but because it was Valentine's Day themed, I was hoping he would pay for my meal. Parentheses. He didn't. But we usually pay for each other every so often. I just thought, hey, maybe today he would because all my friends and their boyfriends paid for their meals.
Ooh, that's so embarrassing. Ooh.
I even ordered something cheap, not to be a burden, but I didn't flat out ask him to do it, so I couldn't be mad. I ended up hurting my own feelings.
She didn't hurt her own feelings.
No, she deserves so
That
much
is so
better.
fucked
That
up.
fucking guy's a pussy. What the fuck? I have a headache. I can't get you a fucking Men used to go to war.
A card?
All she wanted was a goddamn card.
Yeah.
And she got him the hot sauce.
Literally, that is the bare minimum. She
That's
wanted
really
the bare minimum.
sad.
She wanted the hot sauce thing is great. Like, if that's what your man wants is just hot sauce, get out.
That's so sad.
No, I hope she found better because that's fucked.
No, for real.
Oh no, she's like defending him too in like an edit.
Oh,
No.
they're probably married with like 5 kids.
That is
I
so
hope
sad.
not. Yeah. Well, I hope that didn't happen to one of you guys.
Fucking hope not.
The hot sauce thing, though, what the fuck? Why does he want hot sauce?
I actually do want to try that hot sauce.
The hot ones.
Yeah. We
What?
should do that for.
Oh fuck no.
Yeah.
No, I'll be
We should. It'd
sweating.
be so funny.
My face would be melting.
Oh my god. Okay. Okay, so basically this dude meets the girl on Hinge. It's her birthday and Valentine's Day are the same day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So this is going off of that. First date, Valentine's Day and her B-Day. I take her to a movie. That's what she wanted to do. Then we went out to eat at an Italian restaurant. During the meal, I can feel my stomach start bubbling. Her friend calls her and says she locked her keys inside and needed her to come let her in. Her apartment was probably a good 30-minute drive away, so we leave. My stomach is making some noises, and I'm definitely feeling it at this point. Halfway through the drive, mind you, he has 15 minutes left, it starts to hit me. I'm about to crap my pants. So I'm speeding to her house with the windows down and the radio cranked so she can't smell or hear my involuntary farts. Finally, we pull up to her apartment. I ask if I can use her restroom, which she replies with, of course. We walk up to her apartment door and it is open. A large group of her friends are already there. It turns out that it was a surprise birthday party for her. Without wasting any time, I make haste for the bathroom. The bathroom is rather small with an accordion door and located right across from her bedroom. But I cannot help But I cannot help it. I sit down on the toilet and unleash the wrath of God.
What?
Within the toilet. I could not have been quiet no matter how hard I tried. I'm in there for a good 10 minutes. I finish, oh my god, my eyes. I finish, flush, and wash my hands, walk out to her and 3 of her friends standing there with the most disgusted looks on their faces.
Aww.
I feel so bad for him. So I just said, I gotta go. And he left, turned around, left, and that was their first and last date.
No.
I would have felt so bad for. I would have
I
never.
would have felt so bad.
Yeah. I wouldn't judge you if you shit in my bathroom.
If it was an emergency, but I will say, if you were on a date with someone and they came to your house and they just blew it up on the first date, I'd be like, whoa,
No,
is this
but
like a normal thing?
Some people have IBS.
That's fine.
I'd be like, whoa, but that wouldn't be like a deal breaker.
No, I don't think. And also, I wouldn't just stand there with
My
friends,
friend.
Yeah,
like,
we're all just
disgusted.
like, can you imagine if someone...
I'd be like, are you okay? Like,
Imagine Logan had a date over and he goes and shits himself in the guest bathroom and we're all standing outside the guest bathroom.
Everyone look at the wide.
what the
We're all standing outside the guest bathroom like, what were you doing in there?
I could actually see you doing that for sure.
Wow.
What? No, I would never ever judge someone for doing what's
Pooping.
normal, for going to the
Well,
bathroom.
You judge me for going.
I don't know about you guys, but
I don't judge you for going to the bathroom. What are you saying? I don't at all. We shared a bathroom in New York and I didn't judge you.
That's true.
We had a good
I
system
can't do
going.
that. I gotta go to like the second floor community bathrooms of the hotel or something.
Hell no. Not at that Airbnb.
There was no other option. The other option was outside with the homeless man. There was no other option.
LOL.
But I was saying, I don't know about you guys, but I'm feeling great for Valentine's Day now.
Love you guys. Happy Valentine's
Love
Day.
you guys. Happy Valentine's Day.
See you
We're
next week.
fucking
Welcome back.
We're fucking back every Tuesday. Prepare for a new episode.
Yes.
Yes. Bye.